Little windstorm going on here in Florida today. Hello, doggies. Hello. Good morning. So we are having quite a bit of wind last night into this morning. So one thing good about that is it gives me leaves. The leaves aren't falling because they're dead. They're just getting blown off the trees by the wind. So I have my little helper here. He's been gathering leaves and we've been putting them in this huge Rubbermaid. And I'll just stick it all in here, keep mashing it down. We'll have a bunch of leaves in there that'll just be composting. So I try and save everything I can, especially when the leaves come. And it's nice to teach him young. He's going to be a way better gardener than me when he gets older, I guarantee it. Alright, back to work. Smash them down. Definitely got to love that part of the job. Hi everybody, welcome back to Rivera Urban Homestead. Today I'm going to top my tomato plants. They're getting quite large. As you can see here, he's about touching the light already. So what I'm going to do is I am going to top these tall ones, and what that's going to do, it'll bring some of that energy and encourage the side shoots to grow, because I want to grow a more bushier plant versus a tall plant that is very unstable. I want this guy to be kind of short and have everything from the bottom coming up. So we'll get you in closer and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to count up maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to keep it about 4 limbs on there, side shoots. So what I'm going to do is just simply take this one, cut it right off, and I'm going to also take this one off, this side shoot, because it's growing pretty tall. I don't want it to really get that tall. So now this one, what's going to happen is I will, when I put it out in the garden, I'll bury it deep. I will bury it all the way up to here. Now this is going to get stronger being we just clipped the top. These are going to get bigger. So as these go, I will bury this. I'll bury some of this stem into the ground as well. What that's going to do is cause roots to grow out of here, and it'll just make it a bigger, stable plant at the base. So that one's good. He's ready to go. Nice and clipped. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, this one's looking pretty long too here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So really what we're going to do is just take off this sucker. Now if you wanted to, you could take this sucker, put it in some dirt, water it in, and you could actually regrow these suckers, have a brand new plant. Okay, so now it's shorter, and again, what that's going to do now, it'll redirect the energy it was using to grow tall, and it'll start sending out these suckers is what they're called. They're basically another tomato plant. It'll produce flowers and fruit. Now I know a lot of people say, oh, the suckers take the energy out of the plant. Look, it's nature. These plants know what they're doing. They'll be just fine. And when we bury them really deep and we get a big nice root system going in there, it'll be nice and strong and healthy. And they're going to do great. We're going to get some good tomatoes this season with them. I clipped this one the other day, and as you can see, it is nice and thick. Very stable. All of these plants are looking really good. And when we bury them deeper, take this stuff off, bury them all the way up to here, all that's going to form roots on that stem, And like I said, we'll bury some of this lower one into the ground, and it'll grow roots off of here. And then we just trellis up the top. Okay, and then you'll have like almost like 3 tomato plants if you do 1, 2, bury them, and then coming up. So we'll keep these guys as short as we can until they're ready to go out into the garden, which will be about another month. So they still got some time to just keep growing that root system down there. Like I said, when we plant them in the garden, we'll bury them deeper, and they're going to be some strong plants. Okay, so my friend wanted one of my tomato plants, or I actually took a clipping, just like this, and I just stuck it in the pot from what we just topped. And now, as you can see what I did, look here. I buried it way down deep to where now all of this stem is going to grow roots. And I moved one of these over, as you can see right there, and I buried part of it, part of this piece, into the dirt, and that will grow roots down here. So now what we can do, this is just one clipping, but this one is going to grow up this way. We could trellis it up, and then this one, when we replant it, we'll bury it deep and bury all this in the root, or I'm sorry, bury all this into the ground down this way, and then it'll grow up. So now you're looking at almost like 3 tomato plants kind of in one. If you just bury them deep, cover up some of this stem, and let that grow up tall. So I'll keep you on that journey with me while we get it growing for my buddy James. And that one is the yellow gooseberry. So that's a yellow gooseberry. Alright guys, well, I watered it in. We'll let it just roll, and then we'll do another update on it later on. Tomato plants though are looking good, and I love the smell of tomato plants. It smells really good on my hands. You guys have a good day. Alright guys, so just a little story I have. I was born, first of all, in Queens, New York. I have 2 older brothers. We left New York when I was about 6 years old. We moved to Puerto Rico. My dad and his side of the family is Puerto Rican. My mom's side's Italian. We moved to Puerto Rico for about a year and a half when I was, like I said, 7 years old. And it was very rough on my parents. Hard economy. I know Dad couldn't really find too much work over there. We were literally making jewelry and selling it on the side of the roads at one point in time. So my uncle was actually a principal of a school in Colorado, a little town called Kit Carson, Colorado. About 300 people in that town. Dirt roads, out in the country, right by the Kansas border, so it's just Great Plains. So we moved there. You want to talk about green acres? My mom is a New York Italian with that attitude, and we moved to a town of 300 people. Quite an experience. But so I started 2nd grade there, and I lived there all the way to my junior year in high school. Basically my whole growing up was out there in the country. My dad passed away suddenly when I was 16 years old, one night. But throughout the time when I was living there, I met some great friends. My class was only 17 people in our class, so growing up you knew each other like brother and sister. Well, I got news 2 days ago that one of my classmates, Rodney Carroll, who actually lived in town with me, I lived in town as well. Most of our friends lived out on farms. So we hung out a lot because we were the only ones in town. He was a truck driver, and he got into a wreck and was ejected and killed. That is my first Kit Carson classmate that I've lost. It was hard. It's weird. I just hope he's resting easy and everything's good, But it's just interesting, and you start losing stuff like that. I lost my dad when I was 16, so I've always had personal relationship with death, I guess you could say, as far as emotionally invested, always thinking about it, you know, the fear of the loss, you know, especially now having wife and kids, you know, it's scary. It's scary knowing how it feels when it happens, but I just try and keep mellow and just appreciate everything that's going on. I try to observe my little one playing all the time, be a good father, be a great husband, you know, and just try and be a good person overall. Because you never know when it can leave, and it's just how do you want to be remembered, you know? So I don't know. I just wanted to share that and tell my friend Rodney goodbye, and maybe we'll see you again. And you're on the open road now, so that's it. Everyone have a good day. Just appreciate your family. Give everyone hugs and kisses, and have a good day.